Okay. And the magic machine tells me that I'm live. Folks, so, I had only online interactions with Shonner. Okay. I'm the last guy to make an R.I.P. Shonner vid. And the first round of Shonner vids were all, I think, his amigos. Honest Amigos came first. And I'm gonna talk. I'm only have a brief amount of time to be here, so I'm gonna be, very blunt. Look, the man Shonner was Shonner, and with the stuff that he talked about people, if anyone's gonna be like, yo, you know what I mean? Come on, don't, hey, yo, you know what I mean? You know, we can talk honestly, and I'm not here to talk ill of those who have passed. Tim Frey. Hey, hey, hey. First in the live chat, gold medal onto you. I've seen videos by remembrances by people who I think truly counted Shonner as an online friend. And I've seen videos by people who were like, I interacted with him, I was a fan, and hey, he was polarizing, but. And I've seen a video by a person who. That's part of my thing too about this whole thing is to be like, we eulogize the dead. And there's a great song by a band called Cop Shoot Cop called Everybody Loves You When You're Dead. If you made a video, Shonner was controversial and Shonner said so much crap to me and crap to so many other people. I'm going to be straight up. If you made a video, Shonner disappeared from the internet apparently sometime around the beginning of September because he passed away, we have learned, September 1st. Nobody nobody figured out that he passed away until an individual who seems legit to be, like, was it 28 millimeter, 28 mm, 48 mm, or whatever, seems to be the guy who seems to have the most credibility of someone who could say, I spoke to this guy the most. But even he didn't know what happened to Shonner. Shonner used to be online all the time. And then all of a sudden people noticed this dude ain't online. It wasn't until September 28th that apparently people felt comfortable to say, we've confirmed that this guy has passed. And I watched a whole tribute vid by, the people that I apparently knew him best online. And as near as I could tell, they figured it out by someone must have called may have called the county. And then somebody found the obituary. And I found the obituary too. That's part of what I'm going to get to. We say hello to Jonaside, second pit player in the live chat. You don't have to live like you're going to die, or you don't have to live like you give a damn about what's going to happen to you when you die. But you know what I mean? You will pass. And if you've got no connections, no way home, if all of your connections are online, what happened here in this live stream with his what people would consider, I guess, the closest people to him, at the 1 hour 23-minute 36-minute mark, they comment, they say, well, why, you should have plans in place, you should tell your friends, you should tell your your wife, your sister, you should tell people in your life that if something happens to you, tell people on YouTube, tell people on Discord what has happened so people aren't wondering. Renee Miss Jonaside is here. I was here first, but I was making my tea. Likely story. Likely story. Tell it to the mortician, honey. Kidding. Like this was volitional. Like not having his amigos online know what the fuck happened to him was some sort of volitional act. I know where I gotta be because I can't be here long because I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to get my kids. And I know what's gonna happen if I drop dead. I know who's gonna, there are plans in place. People aren't gonna have to wonder what the fuck happens to me because I've got people in my real life. And people who have people in their real life, this shit doesn't happen to them. People don't wonder for a month what the fuck happened to this person or that person. And I'm not trying to shame anybody who doesn't have connections. Making connections and keeping connections is hard. But I also want to say this. There are a lot of people that play games. For a living, pretending that's reality. We use analogous words in the world of role play and in the world of role play that is online relationships. We say, I love my children and I love my mom. And we also say, I love the third edition of Dungeons and Dragons and I love French fries. There are a lot of people out here, eulogizing the man SHONNER, saying, I love him and blah blah. He always had this, that, the other thing. I watched this whole hour and a half thing. The day before this man passes, he made X number of hours of content, a Skyrim stream that went on. None of these people that say that they loved him and they blah blah blah, and he was like a brother and blah 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 and a mentor and all this stuff. None of these people said the minute I learned that SHONNER passed and the day before he passed, he made this 4 hour stream. I immediately watched and I watched this 2.5 hour stream or this 2 hour and 55 minute stream because I had to know. I had to listen for clues. I had to see, was he wheezing? Was he sick? Was he complaining? Was he saying he was feeling down? Was he saying he was gonna do this or do that? Was he what was his last thoughts? Was he happy? Talk is cheap. And sometimes when we say things like, I love this person, or I love that person, we might be just saying it because we want to feel love, or we want to think or know or want to believe that when we go, even though in our workaday worlds or walk around worlds, no one seems to know us. And the only place that people seem to know us or respect us or think that we're worth the damn or have any sort of value or see our value is in these online spaces that will be remembered or someone will make videos about us or whatever. But don't lie and understand the full complexity of what's really going on. And understand the full complexity of check out the dude's obituary. Most obituaries say this man came onto this world in this day and he was this and he was by and he's remembered by his this and his that and his other thing. and blue, and he passed away on such and such a day because of boo, and he will be sorely missed, but blah, 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 blah. That obituary is just his family set up this obituary so people can remember him. And there's X number of people online, and they all say the same thing. And there's not one comment on that obituary that says, I knew Sean from work. I knew this dude from the coffee shop. I hung out with this guy at 31 Flavors, and and we had a blast. If the only people who know you are people online from the whatever space, whether it's TTRPG, competitive in crocheting, or speed, Rubik's cube, finagling or whatever, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to judge you, but I'm telling you, it's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Humankind is a social animal. Deal with it. You know what I mean? It's like either evolved primates or the Bible. Either way you go, social beings requiring societal interaction, and at some level getting along with other people, and not just online, unless you want to disappear. And remember this, you want to be, when you get remembered, the reality is the reality. Your friends are going to get together, and when when street gangsters, when straight up, you know, pop this dude, kill this mother, I'm going to get this guy. When we say hello to Jilly Beans as well, joining us in the live chat. Speaking of straight up gangsters, kill your mother, folks. Respect. When mad killers kick it, die. You know what I mean? Their moms cry, their homies weep, their brothers weep. And there are plenty of people saying, he was he was a killer. What do you want? He was a killer, but his heart for his brothers knew new bounds. He's in heaven right now. You no more, Clancy. He's in heaven with his Uncle Joey from now, and little Tito, and the Chain Brothers. The killers all think, cry. Someone who cries over everybody. Everybody was somebody's baby. Where I'm going with this is, don't forget, you can get together and say, oh, he was hard on people. He did this. He criticized this person's playing, that person's playing. Yo, a lot of y'all had no problem with SHONNER's content or the things that SHONNER would say about other people because you agreed with him. Let me tell you a true story. I became aware of SHONNER the minute, like, I started this TTTR, my tabletop role playing game channel at a certain point in my YouTube history. But I've been on YouTube since 2015. Whatever. This dude was on since 2012 or earlier. I don't know. But the minute I started doing TTRPG content, I became aware of SHONNER, and I knew what the deal with him was. But I knew that, dude, it's a cliche. There's some people in the TTRPG space that are just wired for kind of conservo, ultra Trump, everybody who's progressive, liberal, or has different colored hair can burn in heck or whatever. Holy crap, Jonaside's not working. I can't believe it. The world has gone topsy-turvy. Let me tell you an actual SHONNER quote. I'm out here looking for real role players, but I won't play with Democrats at my table. I won't role play with Democrats because all Democrats just want to kill all unborn babies. And if there's anyone out there who's going to say, that's just a shtick, no. Blah, 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 blah is a shtick. Carrot Top pulling out things and being like, it's a black rectangle, it's an iPhone, but it's a black phone. But see, that's the prop comedy is a shtick. Constantly saying radical, ultra conservative, extreme xenophobic, homophobic, and transphobic things constantly all the time, whether it's on the street corner, whether it's on YouTube, or whether it's on Foxes or whatever. That's not a shtick. That's expressing your radical point of view. I had no. When Shonner would show up in my live chat, I'd interact with him and I'd act as though a quasi celebrity YouTuber had shown up in my live chat. And we kind of mixed it up a little. But here was my first real interaction with Shonner. I was having a quote unquote debate with RPG Pundit about whatever. And for whatever reason, because it was kind of near or slightly after October 7th disaster. I guess we're coming up on a year anniversary. The topic turned to that for some ungodly reason. And I said, look, I oppose, essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, I essentially made the point that I didn't want to speak about it because it was just a hot, it was not going to be a good thing. But I said, what I essentially paraphrased, I tried to express myself as clearly as I could. As a Jew, and Jewish identity is tough, and there are people that have all sorts of points of view about it. But I said, look, I abhor political violence. I abhor political violence in all shapes, forms, and sizes, and therefore I do not condone the actions of Hamas on October 7th. Having said that, because I abhor political violence in all forms, shapes, and sizes, I do not condone the Israeli Defense Forces' response to Hamas in regards to the attacks of October 7th. And in response to that, from the live chat, Shonner called me an anti Semite. I again said, well, depending on your point of view and perspective, I do identify myself as a Jew under certain, it gets problematic. And then at which point, RBG Pundit chimed in and said, okay, well, so you're not an anti Semite, you're just a self hating Jew. And then the game was afoot. I've made the celebrity roll call of being included in those radical genre intros and stuff. But here's where I'm going with the story. Shortly after that interaction, one of my longtime subscribers who had a one video that he had made on his channel like years ago. We oftentimes people have this. You started your YouTube channel and you make one of these videos. Hi, my name is blankety blank. I don't really know if I'm going to do much with this YouTube channel, but if I do, you can expect to see content about TTRPGs, blank, blank. I'm also to Star Wars, blank, blah, blah. That's it for now. Have fun. See you out there, blah, blah. Keep your stick on the ice or whatever. Shortly after I did that appearance with RPG Pundit, as a subscriber to Shonner, I was horrified to see that out of nowhere, this dude who was a long-time subscriber to me was all of a sudden in the Shonner crosshairs, and Shonner was covering his video. And like I said, if I described the video accurately, I did. It was not Shonner had reason to cover this video because he was saying something about TTRPG execution that Shonner had legitimate reasons to say was incorrect. It was just an intro video. The guy Shonner had nothing to go on other than the fact that because my homie had a bushy beard, and was apparently drinking out of a ceramic cup and had a cat in the video with him. That was enough for Shonner to pull together a insane narrative about the guy's political affiliations, who he was as a person, his ability to satisfy female lover. It was all Sean. The point I'm going with this is this: if you're thinking that Shonner was controversial because he was always out there criticizing and telling the truth about people's role playing, no. Yeah, Shonner could be brutal about people's role playing. Absolutely, he could. The other thing that Shonner would do, he would go off on people that he perceived as homosexual, transsexual, or in any way, shape, or form liberal, hippy dippy for those qualities. And saying the most crazy things about them. They're abominations, they're horrendous, they're horrible, they're this, they look like monsters, blah, blah, blah. He did. You want to act like he didn't? No, okay. Like I said, a whole bunch, you probably had no problem with that because you agree with him. Okay. But just know and understand that just like when he goes, people are gonna get up and stand up there and say, "Hey, remember Shonner? Shonner was like this, and yeah, he could be hard on people because this, that, and the other thing." There's also going to be people like me who are going to say, "Hey, yeah, everything they said true and fair enough, but also remember this: Shonner was a fucking bully." Who died the fuck alone. And you could probably surmise that if he had spent some time learning how to be a kinder, gentler, nicer human being to people, he might be being remembered differently. All those other videos would have been made. He's a great guy. Hey, he could be a curmudgeon. He could be a bit of a troll. But this extra coda video, hey, don't forget, he also said horrible, horrible things about people and was extremely mean to people for no reason. The video that he covered of my subscriber, by the dude, there's no way that that video just got spontaneously recommended to him in 2023. That's not how the algorithm works anymore. It's not you're connected to this person, you subscribe to this person. It's all hierarchy, ratings now. It's much more likely a scenario that Shonner had an interaction with me, went to my channels, saw who commented on my videos, went to each of them and said, "Oh, here's a guy I can go after too." But I don't know why. Say hello to Catherine in the live chat. But that seemed to be how he was wired. Some people are extra special angry and extra special upset. It's been my experience that that's not a recipe for a good life. And this is not my attempt to say Shonner sucked, was a loser, don't be like Shonner. It is my attempt to say don't be in denial about the complexities of his life, your life, how he will be remembered, or how I will be remembered, how you will be remembered. And we could say everything we want to about his legacy, His legacy. I'm telling you, folks, do not BS yourselves and do not BS anyone else. He did make a radical impact in the TTRPG space, but in a very, narrow cast of it. There's echelons and hierarchies and tide pools and little eddies and flows, small little like enclaves and almost like terrariums of internet culture. But just like the Emperor's bell, rings on Terra every hour on the hour for troop formations and heroes who died, on untold worlds, untold galaxies away. The memoriam is held, but the day after the memoriam is held, more YouTube content is set out there. And folks, look at the view numbers. Yeah, the dude had like four tribute, videos made for him that have like 200 views on average. And that's good. But I think that's everybody that knew him. And people can say whatever they want about, oh, they're going to police the comment section on his videos and make sure to reply to the comments. And, dude, I have hard enough time replying to keeping track of my comments, and I've got the YouTube Studio app. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't going over all his content and making sure you stay on top of new comments on. First of all, like anyone uses the comment section. Like, come on, like these are nice things to say that you're gonna do. It's like after high school graduation, we're gonna get together on this spot every year. Every year from now on. And have a shot of Jack Daniels for Shonner. Because that dude is a fucking legend, man. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you're going to do that like 1 year, 2 years, three. Then someone's going to baby, and you know what I mean? We'll do it. Yeah, we'll get next year. Next year, no, wherever get together on Skype. Well, we're doing it. We're not there in person. We're doing Shonner. Yeah. You know what I mean? Than that one sad sack dude making a video when we all know that if Shonner died on September 1st, we knew there's a dude who was making videos on August whatever saying stop farming my content, stay off my lawn, Shonner, blah blah blah, Shonner. Now that then he hears that Shonner passed away and is now saying things like, and the reason I even call myself a big idiot on my videos sometimes because that's what Shonner used to call me, man. You know what I mean? Fake ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Fake ass motherfucker is coming out. I'm not gonna be fake. Straight up. I had little dillies with Shonner, man, and I felt bad when I didn't be like, oh man, I gotta remember that he, dissed my homie. He was a bully. He was a meanie. And there was no rhyme to his reason. There was no rhyme to his reason. Is that I thought some of his ideas were cool. And also, here's the other thing, dude. As Americans, I say this all the fucking time. Whether you're a dude, whether you're a chick, whether you're straight, whether you're gay, develop an antibody, develop a defense to the accents. He had a great voice. Of course, yeah, and 90% of his persona is he's got an accent, right? And it's, one of the good ones, not, you know what I mean? No offense. Hey, this is Shonner. Okay, I'm making a video. Got people in the live chat. We got Catherine, Jonacide. Her name is Jonacide. If any of them can roleplay. It's doubtful, but we'll try. I have no idea if he was Irish or whatever. Hey, man, R.I.P., but R.I.P. with honesty. I'm not going to bullshit on him. I'm not going to bullshit for him. I say rest in peace sincerely. Do I think the dude's in heaven? No. Do I think the dude's in Hades? No. Do I hope the dude's at peace? Absolutely. Did I love his content? Absolutely. Not when he was dissing people or dismissing people just for being trans, gay, or whatever. But when he was like, just talking, it was, yeah, it could be sublime. It could be beautiful. But at equal times, it could be just like whatever. And like most other people, you know what I mean? When he did 5-hour Skyrim streams, I didn't watch any of that stuff. For all we know, he was extolling on the secrets of life, right? For all we know that there's secrets up in their hills. But then again, that's also to my point. People say, oh, I loved him. I loved him. I loved him. Yeah, you loved him so much you watched all his content. You loved him so much, blah, 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 blah. Get out there, get into the real world, make sure you have real world contents, and ask yourself this: if you die, this is terribly morbid, and I gotta go. So I gotta go. When I gotta go, I gotta go. I'm not trying to be terribly morbid, but this is the God's honest truth. I know what's gonna happen if I die in the middle of the night tonight. My loved ones are gonna realize that something's wrong first thing in the morning. Whether you live alone, whether you live in a house with somebody, you should know and you should play out what the scenarios are for you just straight up dropping dead. Do you have a will? Do you have instructions? Do you have shit that you don't want people to see or know about? Who's going to come clean up? Is it a brother? Is it a sister? Is it some stranger? Is it who's going to take your shit? Who's going to get your shit? Does anyone give a damn about you? Have you put anyone down as an emergency contact at work? I know people that haven't put anyone down as an emergency contact at work for fucking years. Viking burial. You need clearance for that shit, homie. Jonacide. Her name is Jonacide. I went to a funeral in high school in a very click town. I think you mean heck. And the people who showed up and talked at her funeral, the people that bashed her the day before were then talking about how wonderful she was. Everybody loves you when you're dead. Everybody loves you when you're dead. Oh, and then there's The Secret in Our Stars. It was John Green. The funerals are for the living, not the dead. Got time for a card, and then I gotta go at 444. Shonner, baby, I'm not trying to talk shit, but you talked all sorts of what you thought was honesty. So I'm talking honesty for you. If you take this as a diss on Shonner, then you're not listening. Do something with your life other than being online, because if you're just online, those folks are not your friends. Right? They were talking on this live stream about who's going to be at your birthday party, who's going to be at your New Year celebration. All your birthday party celebrations happening online. I'm not saying that online relationships are nothing, but it ain't the real thing, baby. It ain't. You need to get back to reality, and you need to know what you got to think about what your life is and what's going to happen when you die. And if you're spending all your time online, and remember, folks, he spent a lot of his time online. When you spend your time online, it looks like you're in a room with people. If you are not in a room with people, but you're in a room by yourself alone, you are alone. And folks, all if you all you'll have in your life is all the real relationships, or some brother that you never see, or some sister you don't really know about or doesn't really care about you, folks, you got nothing. You better get out there and get something. And it ain't easy. But that means that you might have a challenge in front of you. But life is challenges. But just because life is a challenge, or you got a challenge in front of you, or just because it's hard or it's not easy, or it's hard for you to do, doesn't mean it's not worth doing, or we're at least trying. Okay? But it may be that your life is worth doing something more than looking for the golden egg in Shadow Dark, and it may be out there looking for the golden egg of fucking life, like finding someone. I don't give a damn if you don't think they're that attractive, whatever, have lower standards. Sorry, it's just the truth, homie. Four of Cups. We got the Gothic Tarot here because it's Halloween, don't you know, from 2002. The Four of Cups. This is a card of meditation. The Cups is a suit of emotions and feelings, but the Four of Cups is of the Three of Cups. We've had our bang out celebration. This is a card of meditation and thinking about things, reaching forward to a higher power, seeking solace and comfort, and questing for something bigger, for something real. Okay? Think about it. Think about it. Lord knows I will be. I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did. Truth and honesty. SHONNER, in love and respect, I say rest in peace. If I speak about you honestly, it's not to insult, degrade, demean, or speak ill of you in passing. It is to speak honestly and in honesty, honor, your life, and to hopefully say to people, remember, you can make a huge impact and you can be remembered. But after the memory goes, the flames die out, the speech is said, and even though it stays online forever in a world where everything stays online forever, nobody comes back. Okay? Talk is cheap. You will be remembered by the people that actually remember you. And this is what remembered: the flesh, the hugs, the real shit. People could say whatever they want to, in one ear, out the other. There's going to be some other talking head tomorrow. They will not remember as much as they do. Love, love, love. Love to the people in the live chat. Love to the people who receive. Love to the people who send. It's all love. Love to SHONNER. Rainbows and kisses. That's not a curse. That's a blessing. If you live on, may you live on and learn, whether it's in heaven, past the next door, on a rainbow, something, or whatever. Wherever you go, may you get more love. Peace. And that dude who was fake, stop being fake, homie.